It's in the name.
This episode of Helping Healing Humor is brought to you by another show in the Ben and Travis universe, The Long Yes with Travis and Whitney. Most people see the stage, the sermons, the Sunday mornings, but they don't always see the quiet yeses, the hard yeses, the everyday yes that nobody applauds. On The Long Yes, Whitney and I have honest conversations about faith, family, ministry, and what it looks like to keep saying yes to God over the long haul. If you're a minister, a church volunteer, a ministry spouse, or just someone trying to lead your family well, this podcast is for you. Go to benandtravis.com, click the podcast button, and look for The Long Yes with Travis and Whitney, or wherever you listen to podcasts, and start saying yes for the long haul. Welcome into the Helping Healing Humor with Ben and Travis podcast. On today's episode, we'll be celebrating America 250th birthday. Kind of young compared to a lot of countries. I'm Travis Creasy, the pulpit minister at Westgate Church of Christ, who is closing in on being over Camp Maywood, and that is All-Pro Counselor Ben Hayes with Highland Park Church of Christ, Mars Hill Bible School, 3-Chord Counseling. Fresh off his first week being the director of Maywood Christian Camp in Hamilton, Alabama. Week 4. Touch that thing, Fo.
Mm-hmm.
How's it going, man? And we're right out of a workout, too.
Yeah, the director is a little overstated. Jason, I think, is the director. I am the co-director with him. Jason, his family do so much more, preparing for the week. I just kind of try to step in and help them during the week. Maybe I'll help them a little bit more in preparation next year. But, man, it was a great week. I loved the time that we got to spend with all the folks down there, brothers and sisters that we don't get to see except for that kind of 1 week out of the year. And it's an awesome time getting to be together. Can't believe summer is halfway over or we're halfway there, whichever one is glass full, glass half empty. I don't know, but
living on a prayer,
almost done or halfway done at least. So we'll see how it goes the rest of the way. And I'm still struggling to recover from the camp. It was a rough one this year, but it was fun. Had a good time.
Yeah. One of my, and I guess, I don't know that it's ever fallen on the 4th when we were at camp, but it's gotten close in the past. And we've done some celebrations and fireworks and all that stuff.
I think a few people might have shot some off Friday night.
Yeah.
Till Jason put it into it. But I think maybe early on when we were there, it got close. But at some point along the line, 5th week said, we will always take July 4th week. And so everything revolves, according to Jeff Goff, everything revolves around the 5th week landing on July 4th. So whether, Sunday through Saturday, if it lands on July 4th, that's the 5th week. And so that's how everything is scheduled. We are always the week before the week that July 4th falls on.
Gotcha. Okay. A little inside ball, little inside behind the scenes action there that you can only get here.
Right here.
Helping Healing. And now we're going to hit some humor. Ben, I know you're a big fan of tea, sweet tea. We both may be cutting out the sugar a little bit more here recently, but
had it in a while, but
you know what kind of tea Americans drink on the 4th of July? Liberty. That's what we drink. That's what we drink. Is liberty.
Throw in the harbor is what it is. That's what.
Yeah. Don't make us do it. We will do it on purpose. And we'll dress up when we do it if you're not careful.
That's right.
Kind of reminds me of at Freed, and I know, Ben, you weren't doing this.
Surely not.
Not at Freed, and I may or may not have been there, but I do remember a story where maybe a social club that we were associated with, no longer at Freed Hardeman Trizeta, dressed up as another social club, Sigma Rho, and rolled Milton Sewell's yard. And then when they got home, the Sewells got home, everybody changed back into their Trizeta stuff and then went to offer to clean it up. for a small donation to a competition fundraiser that the clubs were having.
That's incredible.
So
I do not remember that. So maybe I wasn't there.
Yeah, and I don't think I was there either. Maybe in spirit. Maybe in spirit was there.
Maybe.
But that's the American stuff, dressing up, throwing tea in the harbor, dressing up, rolling someone's yard, then turn around and doing the good thing and offering to clean it up. That's, I think, pretty smart. Smart. How are you going to celebrate, man?
Well, it's still a little up in there. Generally, we go to my in-laws' house, do some. My father-in-law usually cooks, and my mother-in-law cooks, and we have kind of a party there. And then we go to the creek for a little while and hang out in a good cold creek. Sometimes we end up at one of the elders' houses that fires off some fireworks, and sometimes we go up on the mountain to a person's house that does kind of a little bash up there. So I don't know that we've fully made those plans just yet, but it's coming up. So, but it'll have something to do with fireworks, probably some cold creeks and some good food is what I'm guessing, because this is America and that's what we do. So, how about all these people who have been over here for the FIFA World Cup and, just going nuts about American food, Waffle House, Chili's, Wendy's, stuff that we kind of take for granted sometimes. They're all fired up about it.
Freedom.
And freedom.
Say whatever we want to say.
One of the things that Jeff Goff said he saw, I thought was pretty great, was like their favorite thing that they've discovered while they were over here is the Sonic Ice.
Sonic Ice Ranch. Apparently, that's something that's not abundant in other areas of the world. I'm just glad that we can classy the joint up. I think in general we all have generalities of people around the world, and I think for a couple of years now, us Americans have been getting kind of a bad rap.
Mm-hmm.
And so now they come over here to play whatever y'all want to call it. Will be politically correct, football or whatever. And what you're realizing is that it's pretty awesome over here. Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And we got some good stuff, just like they got good stuff. No, everybody got their own things. And
my travels to other countries, but I've still not found one that I like more than this one.
Well, you vote with your feet, man. We
right.
vote with our feet. Everybody, generally speaking, we are where we want to be, at least over here. And so right now the plan is I'm going to celebrate the 4th of July for the first time ever, I believe, in the state of Georgia, down here in Southeast Alabama, Georgia's.
There you go.
And we may actually cross the Chattahoochee for all the Alan Jackson people to do that.
What better way to celebrate the 4th than with a little Alan Jackson?
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's a farm. I think they do several things, but certainly peanuts is a part of the growing out there. But little known fact about Whitney, my wife and co-host of the Long Yes podcast, she worked for a fireworks store for a summer or two, and she loves fireworks, and she can put together packages of the best kind, and so she kind of likes to do that. And I don't know if she's going to get to exercise that muscle this year or not, but little known fact about Whitney, and that's where we're going to be.
She loved fireworks, so
yeah, you just never know with the Whitney what you're going to learn. Ben, I got a little this or that for the 4th. And so here we go. Are you, let's see, apple pie or peach cobbler? Which one are you going?
Probably.
You could approach it from the Hayes / Creasy, our extended family approach, and just do both. But for now, if you got to pick one.
I love them both. If it all will depend on the crust.
Oh, okay.
So if you got an apple pie that's got some of that good homemade crust on top of it, that's like flaky and
Mhm.
wonderful and a
Yeah.
good crust around the outside, I'm probably going that. If the peach cobbler has some good breading to it that you can just tell that's going to have some good texture to it. But I've had some peach cobbler that didn't have that, so it really depends on the moment and on the crust. But in a perfect world, if both of them were just solid choices, they both had the right thing on it, I'm probably going to go peach with some ice cream because
Okay.
I like peach cobbler a
Well,
lot.
you can pass me the apple pie that you didn't eat.
But I love both of them. That's
Yeah.
a hard sell. So
They're very good. Both are wonderful. Ben, are you going smoked sausage or grilled chicken?
ooh, like smoked sausage, as in like hot dog sausage, or just regular sausage.
I'm thinking, and once again, we're not weighing in the fact that we probably shouldn't be eating. We should probably eat the grilled chicken. I'm just saying, you got your choice, no consequence. Which one you going?
Mm, probably
And it could be any sausage if you want, deer sausage, whatever.
most of the time I probably go chicken,
Yeah.
but I like a little Conecuh sausage, Alabama.
Oh man, that makes
hard
me
not,
want to go get some.
yeah, it's
Kaneka.
hard to pass on that. Well, while we're on sausage, let me ask you one. You going hot dog or hamburger?
That's tough. I'm one of those. If I go to a ball game, I'm adding my judgment to the stadium. How good a hot dog they've
How
got.
the dog is.
So I'm going probably hot dog, and I'm not a like add a bunch of stuff like give me mustard or give me death. That's really all I need on the hot dog.
Little pool room slaw that's mustard based. That's where it's
Yeah.
at. So when you go to, have you been to Jack's and got their Conecuh dog? They have
I don't know that I have.
it's two of them in a meal. So I know you've had Skyline's little conies or whatever they're
Yeah.
called, Skyline chili dog in the Great American Ballpark. We had one of those when we were there. I'm not a big Skyline chili fan, but it's one of those things you gotta get if you go to that park, I think. So
Yeah. Let's see. Our family, they're big on get-togethers. I think July the 4th, I've spent most time the last few years with the Whitney's family. Of course, that'll change this year. I know Memorial Day, we've had some big ones. I think Memorial Day was when we would oftentimes at your parents' house do
water balloons.
water balloon battle.
Yes.
It
would start with a toss.
Yes.
It would end with a battle.
Yeah. Eventually, it's going to break down into full-scale water balloon war. I want to say that it was our Aunt Faye, who is now passed on to her eternal reward, that had wore like some really nice like white pants. And at some point in the middle of the water balloon battle, a water balloon landed at her feet, and of course it exploded and mud went all over like the bottom of her pants. And
the memories.
of course, I'm sure that you and I had a pretty good giggle over that.
I'm sure.
But we were kids at the time, so no disrespect.
That's right. That's right.
Are you a deviled eggs person?
Yeah.
Do you eat deviled eggs? Because I know some people can't even stand the thought of deviled eggs, and I'm like, just pass me whatever you don't eat.
You can eat the whole tray. I'll eat several of them generally at a get together. I do like them better cold, when they got a little chill to them rather than after they've sat out for several hours and gotten warm. That's probably not my favorite, but a good chilled deviled egg is good.
Oh, you don't want them warmed by the sun?
Warmed by the sun is not on. But I mean, we grew up with those things, man. I mean, I've still never figured out why they're called deviled, but they're We would have them at church functions. Back in the day when it was dinner on the ground, we didn't even have a fellowship hall. You had to just, put it on that big rock slab out back at Jacksonburg. I can remember, we ate them then. We ate them at get-togethers with family. I mean, those things have been a part of my childhood. So, yeah.
You know what tears me up? And, we'll have somebody out there going, trying to be Paul Revere and ride through the countryside saying the Christian nationalists are coming, the Christian nationalists are coming. But there's a song that tears me up, and I can hear it like December the 5th randomly. Heard it the other day on Sirius XM Prime Country. God bless the USA.
It's a good one.
Lee Greenwood, man. And I think I just realized in the last few years that he actually put out different songs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. There were other,
which are pretty good.
100% the one he's known for.
But Lee Greenwood tears me up. I mean, I heard it the other day by myself, and I was like, man.
And, you don't think about, I mean, I know these guys make tons of money off of these songs. Lee Greenwood probably would have never had to have done anything the rest of his life after that song. But I think you got the message I sent to you the other day about Arlington.
Yeah.
And how not Lee Greenwood, but I'm drawing a blank on his name all of a sudden. The one who sings that. But anyway, how he would only sing it. He said he's only sang it a time or two live. He's careful about where he sings it because he only will sing it. Trace Atkins, he'll only sing it where he knows people will be respectful of the song. He's like, there's so much weight to that song. Yeah. He's like, I'm not going to sing it in front of a bunch of drunk guys. I'm not going to sing it where people aren't really paying attention and giving it the credit. And he said, I really don't want to have to jump off the stage and beat somebody up because they're laughing in the middle of a song about Arlington.
Yeah.
I just thought that was really cool because, I mean, some of these guys, we go, they just make their living at this. But some of them, they write those songs and they mean something to them.
And
perform them and they mean something to them.
Is Trace Atkins the guy that did Every Light in the House is On?
Yes, I think so.
Because that dude could beat you up because he was a bouncer.
He was a bouncer. And I don't doubt that. But he's like, I can't do that. I can't sing it just anywhere. So he said there's a very few that have heard that. And, I think about these guys, and not just country music artists. There's a lot of, rock and even some of the rap. These guys that will go and perform overseas and, in body armor to the troops because of, just the way they think about the country, but also the respect they have for those who've served and those who've sacrificed themselves. And so I've always thought that was cool. The guy who plays Lieutenant Dan,
Oh yeah, he's big.
He has a band called the Lieutenant Dan Band, I think. And
I sure hope so.
Yeah, and he goes over and, he's played at a bunch of things and he gives all sorts of money to the troops. And so I just love that. I love when there's some of those guys that, really believe in what they do and how it can affect people in song. So,
Ben, how old is America turning?
250. So,
which means it's old enough to know better, but still young enough to throw fireworks.
That's exactly right. 250, it does seem like a long time, but it's really not. You think about some of the others, the European countries that have been around for way longer than that. They've got buildings older than our country is.
Yeah.
And so, that's pretty crazy. But it's amazing how in 250 years we've gone from having these 13 little colonies that were barely surviving in some sense to, having this whole country is filled with people, all over other than a few desert areas and wooded areas. I mean, we're a pretty flourishing country from sea to shining sea. So
yeah,
of all the places you've been in America, What's your favorite?
Oh, dude, that's tough. I'm kind of one of those that the old path is good. There's parts of most of the state of Alabama that I've been through, and I like being in that area, North Alabama, Southern Tennessee, South Alabama. I love that the state of Alabama has so much. You've got the Appalachians, and then you got beaches and um, the flat areas and stuff like that. But it's hard to beat the old Tennessee River. And you know what I feel about the
Beautiful
University
spot.
of Tennessee, but the area we grew up in is beautiful, continues to be beautiful. So
Yeah, we were driving across O'Neill Bridge the other day. It goes across the Tennessee River in between Sheffield and Florence. And as we were driving across, we were talking about that, just how many people really don't think about how beautiful of an area we have. But when you drive across the river, I think, man, if I was visiting, if I was just coming across it, I'd probably be snapping pictures going across it. And there's a lot of days we do snap pictures going across, but like it would be one of those areas like when you visit, I know I've done that when I visited Cincinnati or, some of these other areas. You go, man, look at this river. How pretty is that? And we've got that right here in Muscle Shoals, Florence, Tuscumbia, Sheffield area. And it runs, all the way around one direction to Waterloo and Pickwick and those areas. And then back around to that place you mentioned a second ago, Knoxville and Huntsville, and it just keeps going. And it's a beautiful river. So 100%, just
Alaska's gorgeous. We saw some of that together. I mean,
that one's probably as of right now on that top list.
Yeah, there's parts of that we saw that just is unreal. Like it's hard.
It doesn't look
see it
real.
with your eyes. You touch it and you're like, is that real? I have to touch it before I'll believe that it's actually in front of my face,
Yeah, it looks literally like a painting. And I think, I've not been, there's still some areas I haven't been to, and I'm looking forward to a couple of weeks. We're taking a little men's trip out to Colorado and going to see a few things out there. And I've always wanted to see the mountains in Colorado. So maybe that will become one of those new favorites. But I mean, last year I had the chance to go to the top part of the United States, Mackinac Island, beautiful, to the Gulf, kind of the southern end of the United States. We went out west to Pasadena and saw the ocean out there. Beautiful area out around LA. Even if it is LA, it was a beautiful area. And then, South Carolina, we got to see it and see the ocean. So we've been sea to shining sea, and it's, there's just so many good things, and we'll never see all of it. So
I mean, we've seen more than a lot of people get to see. And like I said, we've been out of the country and found beautiful places. And just because I love God bless them, the USA, doesn't mean I don't think God blesses other areas and doing his thing there. Big news from Heritage Christian University. Colin Ray is coming to the 2026 Heritage event. Join us Saturday, August 22nd at the beautiful Renaissance Shoals Conference Center for an unforgettable evening with one of country music's most recognizable voices. Sing along to classic hits like Love Me and That's My Story from the 10-time Male Vocalist of the Year nominee with 16 number one hits. General admission tickets are just $75, and table sponsorships are available now. Don't miss this incredible night supporting Heritage Christian University. Get your tickets today at hcu.edu. That's hcu.edu. 250 years, we get to wrap this thing up, man. What is an event in American history that you would have, or events, you could do 2 or 3, that if you had a time machine, you could just load up and go back, witness it, jump back in your time machine, come back to 2026. You're not stuck there. Is there one that you would jump on? Like I said, it may not be your top one, but just one,
just to see it, just to be there and witness it. Whew, man, that's a That's a tough one. I guess if I don't know that I really want to see it. I don't want to be a part of it for sure. But to see the absolute, blood, sweat, and tears that those guys poured out on Normandy. I know that wasn't on American soil, but just to see what those guys really did and sacrificed is, incredible to me. What they were willing to do. And that might be something I would like to just really be able to see the enormity of that single event and how much went into the planning. Listen to stuff about it, watch stuff about it. That would be something incredible to be able to see. Man, I'm trying to think of something just that's, I guess I do so much study of like Civil War and World War II and Vietnam. And it's like, those are the things that kind of stick in my mind. But you got something that might spark my memory?
Yeah, I would go back in time to a place. And the funny thing is you're talking about Normandy, which isn't even within the boundaries of the United States of America. And I would do the same. I think I would take a little trip and hear the famous words in person. If you can change and I can change, then we can all change, from the immortal words of Rocky Balboa.
In the record
in 1985, when he lays Ivan Drago out.
Yes.
To avenge Apollo Creed, the master of disaster. Of course, that's just a movie, so it wasn't real.
You could watch the recording of it.
I can't watch the recording.
Or watch him run up the steps in Philadelphia. One of those moments.
Living in America. Sorry to set you up there, Ben, but that whole thing was a setup. I was like,
no, it's all good. Well, I was thinking you were going like Gettysburg Address. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
To seeing that live. And maybe even, like to have witnessed Lewis and Clark's expedition. Yeah. That would probably be on the top of my list, is seeing the country before anything ever really touched it. To be able to trek from wherever they started. Like, I don't know if Missouri was really the starting point. I mean, they obviously started back in New England at some point, but they went from right there all the way to the Pacific. Maybe to have even seen, Chris Farley and Matthew Perry do it. Try to go against them and race them there, and Almost Heroes. But, just I think about a lot when we're driving, when we were driving out west. I thought, man, can you imagine crossing these areas when there was nothing here? Because like we could stop and go to a gas station and get something to eat, get gas. They had to stop to, fish or hunt or do whatever they had to do just to survive. And then, we've played Oregon Trail enough to know that, dysentery will get you, or typhoid fever, or fording the river, or, there's all sorts of things that, Native American battles that they fought. So you just think about all the things that they accomplished, and just being able to see the landscape before it was messed up by people,
It's always best to avoid dysentery. Because Terry,
don't diss Terry.
I ain't nobody to play around with. All right. Well, Ben, I hope you have the best 4th of July. As I told the congregation here at Westgate yesterday, it is climbing the list of my favorite holidays. And the funny thing is that like coexist. I said this from the pulpit. I said this coexist with I trust the government less and less. The more I love the fact that we have the freedom to vote, the First Amendment, to have our voices heard. And boy, howdy, do I hope that the whole countryside hears the fireworks that we're firing off in southwest Georgia in a few days. And I certainly hope you get your red, white, and blue on.
I hope so too. One thing I may try to do at some point in the next couple of weeks, if I have chance, is go see that Young Washington film.
Yeah.
That looks pretty solid. So
is that just a 4th of July?
I know it's coming out on the 4th of July in the theater. That may be the only day. It's one of the Pure Flicks. Is that right?
Yeah.
Or one of those,
yeah.
Or Angel Studios, I think is what it's called. So I've heard you can get like a membership to Angel Studios, and it comes with two free tickets to the movie, and then every other movie that they make in the future. 2 free tickets to the theater for $15. That's what I heard. This isn't I'm not trying to do an advertisement for them.
Yeah, go check that out. Another thing, since you said advertisement, y'all need to be signing up for Disco Dodgeball, man. Staying Alive Dodgeball. That doesn't get a whole lot more American than Staying Alive Dodgeball. You can come out, support St. Jude, support sick kids to get healthy, all while throwing dodgeballs at your favorite podcast hosts or preachers or youth ministers, or maybe just that annoying kid in your youth group.
I've reached out to a couple of folks today to try to sponsor it. I haven't heard back anything, but one being a funeral home. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
And another being a doctor's office.
I like where your head's at, man.
Hopefully we don't need the doctor's office nor the funeral home. But,
yes. Headshots are encouraged, though.
But they are encouraged. So,
and you can sponsor a headshot. So just
you can sponsor it individually if you'd like, or you can.
Ben Hayes, have the best 250th birthday you're ever going to have.
I will. And you do the same.
I'll be found trying. You guys have a great week. We'll talk at you again soon.
Here's your weekly adventures toolkit, where we explore various toys, books, and techniques used by children's counselors that you can also use at home to connect with your kids and help them navigate all those big emotions and daily struggles. Today's tool is one that I'm fairly certain that you have heard of before. I'm pretty sure you've probably played it before. It's called Chutes and Ladders. Most of you know this game or some variation of it. And in this game, there's actually one that's out on the market that is a roller coaster, and it's very similar, and it is very much designed specifically for therapeutic purposes. But this one is an old game that everybody has or has had or can get access to going to Walmart or Target or wherever. And the way that I use this game with kids is a lot of times when you spin the spinner, you land on a ladder, or if you land on a slide, you make a motion, the ladder goes up, the slides come down, or the chutes as they are called on this, they go down. And so with the ladder, we talk about positive outcomes. If we've done something positive, what's been a positive outcome? So every time they land on one, they have to talk about something that's happened that they've done that was good, that was a good action that's led to some positive outcomes. And when they land on one of the things that results in a chute, and they have to go down, then they have to share a time when they had a consequence that was kind of difficult. The game's sort of set up that way anyway, because in the game, if you remember, if you do the right things, if you're baking a cake, then you get to enjoy the cake. If you're reading comic books, I don't know why that's necessarily a bad thing. Travis, we would be in trouble. But maybe when he's supposed to be studying, if you're reaching for the cookie jar, sometimes it's going to result in the bad consequence. So there's just different things. We just make up something. They don't have to tell anything that goes along with what's on the board, but we do it that way. Sometimes for a mix-up, we land at the bottom of a chute, we go up it. We land at the top of a ladder, we go down. Just some different variations to have a little fun with it. But we just use it as a time to talk about good outcomes and consequences. So hope you've enjoyed this toolkit today, and hope you have a great one. Thanks for being with us for this episode of the Helping Healing Humor podcast. Be sure to download our free ebook, 28 Days of Focused Living, at benandtravis.com, and receive all of our Helping Healing and Humor extra content directly in your inbox. We look forward to having you join us at the same Ben and Travis time, same Ben and Travis channel.